Hi folks, this is Tom with Frugal Preppers. I got today my Mittleider Magic Micro Mix. So from watching the success that LDS Prepper has had in a lot of the gardening groups, now I haven't gone to doing the raised beds or anything like that. I might next year. But you can use this just on regular soil beds and stuff too. And get nearly the same results, but you'll probably have to pull more weeds and stuff than you do with the raised beds. So I may do raised beds next year, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to give this a shot and just follow the recipe and see what happens. So basically you take, you get 2 of these 10-ounce packets for like 14 bucks, plus a little bit of shipping. And then you mix it with 4 pounds of Epsom salt and 25 pounds of fertilizer. And you're supposed to use 13, 13, 13 to 17, 17, 17. Now, we went all over the place, and all we could find was 12, 12, 12. The cheapest place we found it was Menards. It's just an all-purpose fertilizer. It doesn't have any weed killers or anything like the lawn fertilizers do. So basically, what I did, this is a 20-pound bag, and I need 25, and I didn't have a scale, so I just halved it in 2 buckets. And I took a half and halved that again into 2 buckets. And then measured it into my bucket here. And then I made a little line and just wrote 25 pounds. So that way if I'm making up more batches of this later, I know exactly how much 25 pounds is. Now you have to do 4 pounds of Epsom salt. Now my pharmacy said that they can order like big buckets of Epsom salt and it's cheaper. I just have to let them know. But I was at my local Walgreens and I found this 4 pounds of natural Epsom salt. I was like, that's ideal. I'll get this one, pay a little more for it this time, but I'll have exactly 4 pounds. And then I'll do the same thing once I empty the fertilizer, put the Epsom salt in, level it out, and make some marks around the inside of the bucket for 4 pounds. So I'll know that when I mix it up again, I'll already have a giant green measuring cup for mixing this stuff up. But basically, pretty much what you do is I'll show you the website. I'll put a link to that below where you get this stuff. And then I'm just going to mix it up here in my wheelbarrow, and then I'll do my first application. So I just kind of wanted to go, through this. It was kind of confusing, like what are all these numbers and stuff. Well, it's like your nitrogen and your ammonia and your potassium or something, like the different components of the fertilizer are what these different numbers mean. And most of your all-purpose fertilizers just have an equal amount of each. And ideally, I think you'd want 16, 16, 16, but you can use from 13, 13, 13 to 17, 17, 17, says it will do. And 12, 12, 12, they said it'll do, but you may have to add an extra feeding once a month in the middle of the week. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start getting these components in the wheelbarrow. And I will just show you, every step of the way, through the process of what I'm doing. Okay, so now I have put my fertilizer in the wheelbarrow, and I have put my Epsom salt in the bottom, and my little marks around the bottom as to where the 4 pound mark is. So I'll go ahead now and we'll add the Epsom salt into the wheelbarrow. Okay, so now we've got our Epsom salt and our fertilizer in the wheelbarrow. Well, I am going to add the Mittleider Magical Micronutrient stuff. That seems simple enough. And now I'll just take and mix all this together real good with the hoe here, and then we'll put it back in a 5-gallon bucket for storage, and we'll do our first weekly feeding. Alright, so folks, it is never too late to get the kids involved. What's your name?
Wesley.
Okay, and you gonna show people how to mix the fertilizer?
Riding bike.
I'm Mittleider Magic Wesley. Okay, and mix it up. Show how you do it nice and slow. You don't want to spill any, right?
Yeah.
That's good food for the plants.
Yep.
Alright. Anything you want to say?
Please.
Yeah?
I'm Magic Wesley.
Okay, you're Magic Wesley. Alright. Okay, folks, we got it all emptied out of the wheelbarrow now. I spilled a few little pieces around on the ground, but probably just helped the grass grow better. So I got my bucket of Mittleider Magic Mix. Now, I had to do some math because my beds are a completely different size. And I'm not sure if I did this right or not, but we're going to try it. Basically, it tells you here, basically, a soil bed that's 18 inches by 30 feet, say 1.5 by 30 feet. I figured out the square footage of that, and it says you use 2 cups. So I figured out how many cups per square feet, and then I measured my beds, and I went off of that. So the one bed came up to like 0.70. So I'm just going to go with 2/3 of a cup, which is a little bit on the light side probably for it. But I'd rather go a little lighter the first time just to make sure I don't burn anything out. The other thing is I kept my other bag separate. I have not mixed it up yet. And I did that just in case I messed this up and I post this video and everybody's like, oh no, you did that wrong. Well, I can start over with another bag. So we're going to go ahead and do it. But I mean, that seems like a pretty simple, straightforward process. So basically now we're going to put this on a garden and then we're going to water it in. Oakley dokley, folks, let's see. So what I've done is I've used my handy dandy measuring cup here. And I have measured out the 2 that I'll need for my gardens, which is 1/2 cup. And then I put a line on here for 2/3 of a cup. So in my front flower beds, it's 2/3 of a cup. And my back beds, or flower beds, but my back beds, well, of my front flower bed will get, I mean, it's probably a little bigger, so I could use a little more than 1/2 cup, or 2/3 of a cup. I'll start with 2/3. My side bed will get 2/3. And then my back 2 beds will get 1/2 cup. So basically what I did is I just made a nice little scoop, pre-marked it out of this old soda bottle. That way I can just leave that in there, get my weekly feed out, and I don't have to go get a measuring cup every time. And so what we'll do here is go over and sprinkle this on the first, oh crap, oh, chair moved on me. Sprinkle this on the first garden. So here we go. This is my first feed of the Mittleider Magic Mix. And what you can see here is I have a lot of blooms starting on this plant all over the place. But 1 pepper growing and 1 pepper growing here. Now this plant's already produced a bunch of peppers. And it's got a bunch of blooms. You see my tomato plants starting to get a little size to them there. These pepper plants are full of blooms all over the place, but no peppers yet. There's my corn. So we'll sprinkle this on here, and I'm going to do a video. Basically, in a week or so, and see what, if any, kind of a difference it has made. I'm going to try to get it in, kind of close to the plants here. Of course, there's like a pre-plant mixture or something you can do too, and I haven't done that. But I think you're supposed to mix that in the soil before you plant. So we'll just see what happens here. I need to get out here and weed some of this. It seems like a lot to me. I hope it's not too much. Kind of nerve-wracking. I'm either going to help my plants or kill them, I guess. Okay. So there's that one. I'm going to go ahead and do another one and sprinkle it across here. And then I'll be back when we water it in. I apologize, it's probably going to be a little bit shaky. I'm left-handed. I'm trying to hold the camera and do the hose here, but I've gone ahead and sprinkled the magic mix across the front flower bed here. Sprinkle it in there. Not really sure how much to put in the potted plants or what size they are and stuff, so I just started out with a light sprinkle on all of them. It's probably not enough, but I'd rather go too little than too much and burn the plant out or something, so I just a little light sprinkle in them. I went a little heavier on the basil and the chives because I know that soil's been in use for 3 years and I have done nothing to it, so I'm sure the soil is depleted and that's why the basil and the chives are having such a hard time. But it says basically give it a good soaking in, and it dissolves in the water's what makes it work. So I'm going to give it a good soaking in. Hit my green onions there. I put a little sprinkle in those, and then we'll let it do its magic. So I don't think there's any reason to keep the video going just to watch me water this in. I'm going to do the same thing for the back flower beds. Basically, a 20-pound bag of fertilizer cost me $9.85. Bought some 5-gallon buckets. I know you can get them for free all over, but I was in a hurry. So I got some 5-gallon buckets for a few dollars a piece. The Epsom salt, you can get it cheaper in bulk, but I think I paid like $5 for 4 pounds. So I guess a bag and a quarter of fertilizer, that's what, 12 bucks. Epsom salt, $5, 17 bucks. The shipping and everything together. No, Wesley, I'm not spraying you right now. Go. No, not right now. I'm doing a video. Go. So the bag of fertilizer is probably about $12 in fertilizer. So plus 5 plus 17 bucks in materials. 14 for the magic mix plus $9 shipping. We'll say $10 makes $24. So 24 plus 17, 25 plus 16, which would be 30. I got 31, 32 bucks. And I'll have more than enough for my little garden for probably a couple of growing seasons out of this one batch. Of course, if I expand the garden next year because this does so well, and I've become a magical gardener, then I will probably have a much bigger garden. So that's it for now. Any questions, comments, please feel free to post them, and I will answer them. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.